swagger, okay? Regardless of what happens out there. Doesn't matter. Keep your swagger.
Hey, welcome into the last Sit Start Saturday of the season. We're your hosts today, Alan J, and we have Kevin from Banger Management. Sorry I interrupted you two, like saying hi, introducing yourselves. Oh, well, yeah. How are we feeling, you two? About are there leagues where you're all still? I think Kevin, you told me you had at least one league where you're in the finals today. Jay, are you in the playoffs still anywhere?
Oh my God. Let's just hear Kevin talk about his championship experience. My goodness.
I mean, in our league of record, I am in the fantasy championship right now against my co-host Jake. So it's coming down to the wire. I'm in a 6-6 tie right now. I do have the tiebreaker, but like there's like 3 or 4 categories that are within one, point of flipping. So it's literally going to be a make or break day today and tomorrow.
Jay and I are cursing categories because that was the listener league this year, and 5-hole was categories. And I think that was my second time playing categories, but the first time was enough to tell me I don't care for it.
Really? I think categories is the best.
I see the appeal, but it is not for me. Like it's too much thinking. Whereas like I'm used to like, let's just fill one bucket as much as we can.
We like to call it point soup.
Well, I guess the other one too is in every single points league, to some degree, there is an optimal calculation to some degree. Like, whereas with a category, in some ways, the optimal ad for any given week would differ greatly dependent on how your specific matchup is going.
And I get it. It gives like a lot of players that may not ever see the light of day, like some viability, but yeah, it's not for me. Yeah, no, I totally agree. Like there's if goalies are worth a ton, play goalies. Like, yeah, it's interesting for sure. But yeah, let me hop in our Discord there. I know we have like 2 or 3, so I'll get to those and then hop in the Banger Management Discord and see what we got going on there. But first up, Pokemon, one of our regulars. Have a look at the lineup, and then it looks like he's goals and assists are where the money's at. And then riffs are, they're worth something. So we are benching Kadri, Barzal, who I actually dropped in the league I'm still in. I just, after Barzal? the Monday, Tuesday game, I'm just like, no thanks. Especially to pick up guys like Malinsky, who is now worthless because it's Taze. And then we're benching Laugh. But we have Heischer, Aho, Forsberg, Landeskog. He's pure centers. Dang it. Because I'm like, man, I would almost rather have Kadri in over Landeskog somehow. But I don't think that's going to happen with this setup. Or no, they gave Kadri left wing at the last moment. Yeah, I would almost rather have Landeskog in over, Kadri in over Landeskog. I don't know what you guys think.
I would for sure start Kadri just because of that PP1. I think that the power plays are so valuable, and it's actually been clicking recently. So I think you just got to ride that.
What about you, Jay?
What's Heischer playing for again?
What do you mean?
Like
Center?
Teams out.
Oh, Montreal.
So they're playing Montreal, teams out, and there's nothing really at stake, right? Whereas when you look up, I guess Kadri isn't really playing for anything great.
Heischer's been like one of the hottest players recently. I think he's got like 10 points in his last 10 games or something like that.
Yeah.
So I would definitely start him. He's averaging over a point per game. And New Jersey, I don't think they're one of those teams that's like tanking, right? Like even though they're not in the playoff picture, it doesn't seem like they're trying to lose games. So they're still trying to like compete. So I would still start Heischer.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like Kadri is like enough of a upgrade at the same position that he's worth starting over Landeskog there. Other than that, I don't know. I wouldn't start Laugh because I'm trying to manifest like a Gibson like super win because I need that. And Barzal, he was bad enough. Like I felt like I could drop him in the league I'm still in.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, I'm trying to get him away to, I guess, like slot Barzal in, but I don't know. Maybe it isn't possible.
no, I wouldn't. He's got like 2 assists this week. Or no, I think Monday he did like just enough to where I'm like, okay, maybe you stay. And then I'm like, no, I need that Colorado PP1 guy. Okay, so hard days night. Which one do I sit? He has too many D. Okay, so we're to categories now.
That's my rodeo.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying. Now I'm happy we're talking categories.
Yeah. Okay, so there's no way we're catching up on shots. Hits are close. Blocks are, I would say, within striking distance.
Mm-hmm.
So we have. So it's okay. So it's, do we slot Lacombe in for one of Werenski? No. Fox.
I mean, to me, the question is Lacombe or Malinsky. And it's whoever you have more conviction in.
Yeah. Because Fox points, power play points, not much on like hits or blocks to help you there. Maybe Lacombe for Malinsky, especially if Malinsky is off power play 1 and they gave it to Taze. Thanks, Bednar.
Yeah, the thing is that Lacombe is not like a category stuffer either, right? Like he's not really a guy that you're relying on for shots or hits or blocks that much, but maybe more than Malinsky. It's tough.
He basically needs to score to win the week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Got it back there.
He needs a goal.
Yeah,
he needs a
goals.
goal.
I mean, Malinsky just got 2 of those, so
I know that's
maybe
what,
you're right,
like,
the hot hand.
power play 1 or not, like that made him worth it.
Well, the other one too is like you don't want to overthink it. Like just get him goals, but then if it's a game-winning goal too, then that one goal flips it into a win, right? Puts him ahead. So I don't know. I think he's got the right guys already for D. Maybe you can flip Lacombe, but I think he's got
unless
the right guys for D.
Lacombe is going to be just like a Trouba, more like a Trouba, where he's going to get you hits and blocks, and it's going to help you try to reclaim those other categories. Yeah, I think I agree with Jay. Like I would almost hold pat.
Yeah,
especially
it's tough though.
John Carlson on PP1 now, so it's Lacombe's value has just tanked.
Yeah, but neither of them have power play 1, and I think Lacombe is more likely to get you some hits, and I think both Malinsky and Lacombe could get equal amount of blocks. So it's kind of like you're playing the theory of like who's more likely to get a goal. Maybe it's Malinsky, but who's more likely to help you in hits and blocks that you need both? It's probably Lacombe.
Lacombe. Okay.
So it's really just like what do you feel like your team?
What are you
is good
chasing?
at? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other one I would say too is more than anything, Kevin. Like maybe you should be the guy like 6'6" in a championship.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like exactly
who you're riding with.
Actually, no.
Imagine.
No, that's funny. What would you do? I guess like you're hot in the thick of it.
I think if it's me, I would ride with looking at his team. I think I would ride with Lacombe because the rest of his D, like he's got Fox, he's got Werenski, which I don't think are reliable for hits. And Sider can be good, McAvoy can be good, but I think I want to give myself like an extra roll of the dice there to give myself the odds of like catching up to that category. And I don't want to bet like my whole season on Sam Malinsky getting a goal. You know, like if it happens, it happens, and I'll be sad. But I think you got to play the probabilities of like give myself the best chance to flip those banger categories, and then hopefully the rest of your forwards can take, the heavy lifting for the points.
I like it.
Alan, I don't think anyone could have said it better than that way. I don't want my whole season riding on Sam Malinsky scoring a goal.
When you put it like that, it sounds crazy. But all right, move on to D Stu here. Start 2, Barzal versus Carolina, Batherson versus Minnesota, Lindholm versus Tampa, Laugh versus Detroit. Yeah.
To me, off the bat, I'm starting immediately Batherson. I think he's the first guy you got to start in your lineup.
Yeah, I agree.
And then,
as much as I don't want it, maybe in this case, Laugh would be the second start for me.
Mhm.
That was my gut reaction basically as well. Like Detroit, I don't know what it is, but end of season Detroit is kind of a weird inverted monster. So yeah, I think Laugh to me is the other name that stands out.
Yeah, I wish I could have the confidence to start Barzal, but he's just it feels like the Islanders are in a free fall right now. They can't win a game to save their season literally. So
Yeah, and they started Sorokin yesterday, so unless they want to start him like
they
all
are
4
starting him again.
games, oh my gosh, yeah.
After the
definitely.
game last night, Patrick Wall was like, "Yeah, he doesn't look tired to me. He's probably going
Okay,
to start."
that's what that meant. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Okay, sure, whatever. And then Armdog, it was no. Any changes here? Would you bench any of these guys over Landeskog or JT Miller? Oh my god, I think he gives us the score. Well, categories. Okay.
Landeskog or JT Miller. The only thing that I'm seeing right now is I would probably start it's close between JT and Laugh actually for me. Braden Point hasn't necessarily been in the hottest form either.
No.
So I would say he's actually definitely in consideration for being benched, but
He's actually been another guy I've dropped this week.
yeah,
Because I'm like, I have Gensel, I have Radish. I feel like that's enough Tampa coverage. I'm actually like, I might try to scoop him back up next week so I get that Monday game.
Yeah.
Because the guy I would most likely face in the finals has Kucherov and Hagel. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'd like to have Point, Gensel, Radish to try and hedge.
I have a potentially unpopular suggestion. I'm all about the stacks, and I would try to get Miller in if he's got Laugh.
Oh, Miller and Laugh, but they don't play on the same lines. I mean, they would have PP1 together, which is still atrocious to me. I think Gabe Perreault needs to be on power play 1.
The thing is, though, if you look at his matchup, like hits are like super lopsided, and I think his team is on the right of the picture, so I think he's currently winning 6-3. So he's got the only categories that are kind of like close. It feels like you want to give yourself a chance at shorthanded points and maybe goals, and everything else he seems like he's already ahead. He's not catching hits. I would be shocked if he did. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. And JT Miller would kind of help, but yeah, no thanks. And then, oh my gosh, we're getting more than I thought. Any changes in this league? So I assume he is 7-2. He is the 7.
Yeah.
So plus minus, punt that.
He's got Lindholm and Geeky on his bench, so I don't know if any of those guys are better than who he's already starting.
No, especially Geeky. I feel like the potential's there, but he's just been, again, just kind of doing nothing.
To me, it comes down to Geeky or Barzal, who he has in his lineup.
And I don't feel like either one is enough of an upgrade, really, over the other.
I think I'd roll with Barzal.
Yeah. Dirty Work. Whoops. Which D-man do I sit? Trying to gain ground on hits and blocks. I mean, blocks are closer. All right. So we got Morrissey. Yeah, I definitely. Man. I would keep Lindell if you're trying to catch hits and blocks, and Manson. Maybe Morrissey over Lacombe here.
I'd still go with Lacombe. Lacombe's better at getting blocks and hits.
Okay.
So if that's literally what you're focusing on, then I think you have the right lineup right now. I do think Morrissey's just a better defenseman. Like who'd I bet my season on to get a point? I'd probably put Morrissey in my lineup. But if hits and blocks is where you need, then I'd probably go Lacombe.
And you got Darlene. Darlene can get you points.
Yeah.
Is hits and blocks even the way to go in this setup? I feel like you'd probably just want to throw Morrissey in and hope he gets like plus minus. No,
we're tied. I guess all he can really try to do is goaltending, but he's not asking about goaltending.
No, I'm saying the plus minus, right? Like you want to get a guy that's there.
Punt plus minus, man. Don't try to chase plus minus.
Yeah, I'm never making a decision to try to get plus minus, in my opinion.
I mean, but the other alternative is he chases 11 hits, 7 blocks. I don't know. I feel like one plus minus is likelier than the other.
But it's not about this. The plus minus could go in the opposite direction too, right? Like you can start Winnipeg and maybe Columbus just destroys them today, and then you put a guy in your line that got -3. Could go +3. It just doesn't. You just don't know, and there's no way to predict that.
Yeah, Hellbuck's been like a super frustrating own. So like, if all 3 of my goalies start today, like I have Hellbuck benched. I'm like, I'm not taking that chance. Okay, let's move on to the banger management. Sit start. Okay, so Hudson for Hart for W today. Who do we pick up in net? Bussy, Dobis. I think UPL's out there too. Leaning towards Bussy or Dobis. Got burned picking Swayman over Fowler. Like with as hot as Montreal goalies have been lately, I'm leaning Dobis.
I mean, the Habs are just a great team, right? I think out of all these teams that he listed for the goalies, I think Montreal has probably got the strongest team right now. Allmark just had a great game. Ottawa's desperate. I think, I'm playing against Bussy in my Brandon Bussy in my personal fantasy championship. So if you want to go against me and probably win your leagues, maybe you do that. But I like Dobesh if I needed to pick.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised he's available. Like, I feel like that was a Hail Mary for a lot of people Sunday. And if he won, you would have hung on to him. All right. So power play, SLUT, down by 9 shots and 3 blocks. Anyone on the bench that can help fill the gap. There we go. Okay. So this is probably ESPN.
Yep.
Shots and blocks. Maybe Harley.
I do not want to put Harley in my lineup. He's been not great at all.
And man, I don't know if Shen's gotten really any better since he got traded. I mean, he's scoring more, but I've never looked into if he's doing if shooting more, blocking more.
He is definitely a better player now than he was on the Blues, especially for points. I'm just looking at the lineup right now, and to me, if you need shots, I feel like you gotta. I mean, he has a pretty good lineup right now. Like, honestly, there's nobody that's glaring that should be out of there.
I don't see anybody alarm bells going.
Yeah.
I gotta flip in.
No. And man, I'm struggling to want to start Panarin today when I could get in Troy Terry against Calgary.
I feel like at some point you just got to start your studs. Well, there's a certain level of player that you just got to always have them in your lineup, even though they've been disappointing. I'm a Panarin owner, but he will be in my lineup. I just feel like I'd be too depressed if I didn't start him and then he went off and then he was on my bench and I lost. You know?
Right. I was glad I benched him against that St. Louis was the St. Louis game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I think all he had was 1 assist. Okay, so it doesn't sound like anyone here is a clear upgrade.
No, I think he's got the good guys in his lineup.
Yeah. So. All right, so Ian, would you start Leo Carlson or JT Miller? Other options geeky, but seems like a easy sit. I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe you are starting geeky.
No, you're not starting geeky.
I'm leaning Leo Carlson here.
He didn't say what he needed. Ian, if you're in the stream, let us know if you need specific categories or just points. But just points, I'm going Leo. Yeah.
That's in a vacuum, not knowing what kind of league it is.
Yeah, without any other info, I think Leo is the name that stands out of the 3.
And then I saw, here we go, another one from Pokemon. What's he asking what to do with his last ad for Saturday or for the weekend? Saturday, Sunday, all he's got open is defense and goalies. Well, automatically, I like this. He's got Broberg. He could add Sunday. He's been really hot. Or stream a goalie for Saturday, Sunday. There's some nice goalies in here. I see Fowler, Wedgwood. And this is goalies in this league. You really got to get the volume to make it worth it.
Honestly, it's not that bad because from his settings, it just takes 3 shots or 3 saves to make up for 1 goal against. Usually it's much higher. Usually it's 5 to 8 to make up for 1 goal against. So you could let in 3 goals, but as long as you're making 9 saves, you're not going negative, right? So
right.
you actually have the option of getting a lot of points if you're going with the goalie, and I think that's what I would do here. Depending
Okay.
on, you could get one game of Broberg.
That's true.
To make up for the goalie. Well, he only has one ad, right?
Right. So he's either saying a D man or a goalie for the weekend.
I would go goalie. I think it's safer. None of the D-men he offered were like good points guys besides Broberg, who's been hot. But like Broberg can easily just like not get you a point, and then he's just getting you straight zeros. Whereas a goalie, I know I'm getting at least a floor of points with the upside of like if they win the game, like it could be a really valuable start.
So it looks like if he makes 30 saves, then they get 10.5 points, and then if he lets in 3 goals, let's say that's 7.5 points. Let's say they win. So basically, you're looking around 10 points for 10, 9.5 points.
Now, the Blues do play the Abs tomorrow, so that could be just not a great game for the Blues, as hot as they've been this week.
I think the play is you have to get the skater with the back-to-back first, and then reassess come Sunday. And
Malinsky's out there. Whoa, Devin Tays.
And then I think what happens is like you play the situation differently if you're chasing the ceiling or if you're securing the floor. And I think if getting a significant lead after Saturday, I would probably just hold tight with whatever skater was picked up. And then I think if I was chasing, I would do what Kevin's doing. And if you get a shutout, like this could be a really disgusting.
Because I forget you foresaw I think it was like an Alex Lyon shutout, like super early in the season. And that was worth like 13, 15 points, something like that.
It was wild. But I think the important part first is you secured I don't know if I would chase goalie to goalie. Because then I think if you're picking up a goalie on Saturday, it's just
well, he only has one more ad.
He only has one ad, and it's a points league, right? So you kind of want to give yourself a best chance at volume. Like you're not really reacting to anything in a points league, right? Like whether my matchup is like Saturday or Sunday, I just want the most points, whether I'm making the pick-up on Saturday or on Sunday. So I feel like you either go with the skater, then you go with the skater that's going to give you the most chance at points, and hopefully they have 2 games. But I would rather, if it was one game of a goalie versus one game of a skater, I'm going one game of a goalie. So I just think it's just a better option.
We have
but would you want 2 games of a skater or 1 game?
That's the big question. And if it's like 2 games of a Devon Taves on power play 1, where 1 power play assist could be 4 points.
Right. I think I kind of like the idea of volume, but yeah, I don't think any of the guys listed right now immediately are like those power play 1 weapons, right? Like Broberg is the most interesting weapon of all of them, and
he plays Sunday.
You got Devin Tays, but like just as easily as they had Malinsky there, they could put they're putting Tays there now, but they could go back to Malinsky, and then you've totally lost out on the guy.
If it's me, I'm still going goalie. I just think the upside of like picking the goalie with the best matchup and getting that good performance will outweigh like what I'm getting from the potential skater.
Burned on picking up Malinsky this week. I think goalie may actually be the safer bet because it's 1 start, but that 1 start could be really good, especially
you got to pick right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the skater is the safer bet because you have 2 games going. However, I think the higher upside is a goal. Like, if a goalie with a shutout, I think with the settings beats all the other options. But
so Bussy starts today. Fowler is going to get one of the start. I mean, which goalie would we pick though?
I mean, for the skater to make sense though, you'd have to assume that if they're playing 2 games, they get 2 points within those 2 games. So which skater are you betting on to get 2 points out of the last 2 games? Like, do you think Devon Taves is getting a point today and tomorrow? Like it's possible he could get 3 today for it's up there. I think but it's not something that I'm betting my life on.
No. I think looking at his options, I just need to check. The only 2 names that stand out are Broberg.
Mm-hmm.
We get 1 start.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I just now that I see Tays, I'm like, but I think Kevin's right. I think the goalie, if it's 1 start, if it's a really good start, that ceiling could be just as high, if not higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's like if you get the goalie, like you could get 4 to 10 points. If I pick up the skater, I could get like
Two
two to 10
Yes,
points.
yes.
But that 2 would be really devastating. I think the median outcome is higher if you go to goalie, and that's what I would do.
But the other one is there's no negative, as in there's no negation for any of the skater categories, right? So every point secured by the skater during those 2 games is secured in the bag, right? As opposed to the goalie. Like even if let's say you go through half a game well, they could lose those points for you later on. I think if we're gonna go the back-to-back, I don't feel comfortable going with Malinsky or Taves, mainly because I don't know who's going to get what. What's the Letang and Witherspoon situation? Like I'm looking at Pittsburgh and I'm seeing like I
mean, I feel
You need
like
the points though.
Yeah.
You need, like Witherspoon has been like kind of hot-ish for like points. Like he's been averaging like 0.6 points per game, but like purely through assists. But I'm not picking him up with the hopes of him getting some assists in this weekend. You know, like it could happen. Obviously, anything can happen. But
Letang's gotten 5 points in the past 3, but that is a cherry pick stat, right? Like he's got
And I mean,
6 in his last 6. You know,
who knows like which version of Florida we'll get today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
The depleted.
To be fair, both teams, like if Pittsburgh kills both games, that helps Pittsburgh and Florida, right? Like in the grand scheme of things, they both.
Yeah, Florida gets to keep their top 10 pick, and Pittsburgh gets to secure.
So I don't know. I think I'm like talking myself into like a Letang pick here at this point.
Oh man. All right, let's move on. D-Stu. This may be more interesting than I thought. So Cole Hudson, Taves, or Letang in points bangers.
Taves.
Yeah.
He's the only one here that's going to get you the top power play exposure. He's got the 2 games on the back-to-back as well. Like obviously these are all like decent options, but I think he's a standout.
I was like, Cole Hudson's been hot, but he's not guaranteed the deployment. And then who would we stream head-to-head points? Huso versus the Flames or Grubauer versus Blackhawks?
Well, I guess the other one too is when we're saying points bangers, like I guess the emphasis is what is he chasing, and if it's just like everything point specific.
Points you want power play 1, you want
unless your hits and blocks are like worth just as much as like an assist or a goal, then you're still putting the emphasis on the goals to get you. Yeah, exactly.
I think I'm leaning with Tank.
Okay. I don't know for this goalie question. Maybe Huso.
Me for sure, Huso.
Yeah. And then let's jump back over to Banger Management. There we go. Because Ian posted his scoring there, so it is categories. And the question was Leo Carlson or JT Miller. So hits were close. Shots, they're probably not catching up. Power play points, that's a pretty good lead going into Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
But really, he's behind on goals, assists.
Yeah, but with how many games we have today, I feel like that's within the margin of error to like just flip those.
Yeah.
You want to give yourself a good chance at hits as well, I think.
So with that context, do we think JT Miller? I mean, he'll help with the hits, maybe fall backwards into some points, but was he like third line power play 1 now?
It's like a line 2, line 3 thing. Like the Rangers are weird.
And then, because what do we got? Let me check the lines here in Anaheim. Because I thought Leo Carlson was the 1C. Yeah. 1C with Kreider and Troy Terry. So
I think I go with JT.
Yeah,
with that knowing context. The categories, yeah.
In these situations, this is my thought process, right? Like, so if you start a goalie, to some degree, there's nothing really chasing aside from losing or getting your wins down to a tie, unless the other guy gets a shutout. The other guy getting a shutout would really suck, right? But aside from that, you basically have 2 secured categories in your goals against and your save percentage.
Mhm.
And so I would keel toward not touching those two and just chasing hard into skaters. But how
Yeah.
do you guys view this one?
I mean, to me,
No.
it depends on the context of the situation, on like who does he still have on his team and who does his opponent have, and if he has a tiebreaker in his matchup. Because, like, I agree that goals against average and save percentage, you want to hold those, but the lead is so substantial that honestly, I'd feel safe starting a goalie and not having those flip to my opponent unless I have like a disaster game and he has like the best game of his life type of thing. And because if his opponent gets another win, that category is tied, and then it's 4-4. And if he doesn't have the tiebreaker, he's just losing right there, right? So if my opponent's starting goalies that have decent matchups, I'd probably keep starting my goalie, and I'd focus on trying to flip hits, and just hope for the best with goals and assists. Because I think everybody has a full lineup today, anyways. So you just kind of like give yourself the best chance and see what happens.
So we got a question in the chat here. Kochekov, because he did skate in practice today.
Mhm.
No, I think Kochekov is still out for the season, and especially coming off hip surgery.
Yeah.
Like even going into next season, like he's someone I don't want to touch.
I mean, next season we'll see how it goes, but I think this season he's cooked.
Because I feel like hip surgery is one of those things. It takes like a full friggin' year to, unless I'm thinking of back surgery. It takes like a year after to really feel normal again. But yeah, I'm not. Nope, I would not be interested in a Kochekov start. Why would you bench Snuggie and or Kyrou?
he's got to start one probably.
I know, yeah. Like I mean, of the two, I would go Snuggie.
Yeah, I'd start Snug.
And then
I'd probably bench Kyrie. He only got 13 minutes last night. Oh my goodness. Well,
Blues are also weird.
Right. And then go back to Discord here for fun. Any switches from Skapaku 27? Both have full skater lineup on Sunday. He's cooked on goalie stats, so he's just going for forward stuff.
This is categories, right?
I assume so. Yeah, because that doesn't necessarily mean anything. But yeah, he said he's cooked on goalie stats. So I assume this is categories, and he's.
I can't tell which one's his team name, though, because he posted the matchup on the bottom.
Oh, there we go. So if he's cooked on goalie stats, he must be the top.
Yeah. So he needs hits, he needs blocks, he needs shots, points. So pretty much everything.
And they're all
hits,
flippable.
blocks, yeah, exactly. Hits, blocks, shots, points.
This could look the other direction after today. But yeah, I don't think Trennan's gonna. Yeah, I would keep Trennan in for the riffs with the upside of the points. Yeah, I don't think Lindholm goes in for me over any of these guys.
No, I mean I do think Barzal and Lindholm are better players than Trennan, but I think I understand Trennan's in the lineup to just try to flip those hits specifically. And I do like Zadorov a lot for like the hits and blocks, but he's already got, you're not benching Radish, you're not benching Quinn Hughes, and between Guli and Zadorov,
it's pretty lateral.
Yeah, exactly. It feels very lateral. So
what do you think,
like
Jay?
it the way it is.
What's Arvidsson done recently? So Arvidsson
shooting a
had
lot,
like a
scoring.
hat trick game.
Yeah.
But he's only still getting his last game was kind of a dud against Florida, but
apparently that Zaka middle stat Arvidsson line's been pretty hot lately.
It's been very hot.
Just wondering if we're still chasing lightning in a bottle in the same way for Arvidsson compared to Barzal. That's all. But
no, I would much rather start,
Yeah.
especially because I think Arvidsson just shoots more in general. Give me the guy that's going to shoot.
Arvidsson's just been like, I think, a significantly better fantasy asset than Lindholm and Barzal as of late.
Yeah, agreed. And then Vinny Tro or Kadri. And then what do we got here? Is this categories? Is this?
Yeah, this is categories.
Okay.
I mean, I have a Trocheck, and he's been really bad recently. So I think I'd go Kadri.
Yeah, I
Better
agree.
chance of points.
Especially with Colorado's power play one versus New York's.
I mean, New York's power play is better than Colorado's, but Colorado has been like hotter as of late. And I think Trocheck himself is just not the same guy anymore. End of season.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to do something to you, being told like, yeah, we're sitting you to trade you, and then you don't go anywhere. Favorite goalie stream out of these guys? I like Fowler.
Yeah, you just gotta
Saros
be
is
careful with
available.
Fowler though. He might not start today. He might start tomorrow. So if you need to start for today, you got to be careful.
Right. Oh no, yeah, 100%.
Honestly, I think Husso is a great start today. I mean, I've been
Yeah.
recommending him. He's playing Calgary. I think Anaheim just got blasted last night, so I think they're gonna try to play better today. If he gets confirmed, I'd be shocked if they play Dustal in the back-to-back. But I think
It
Husso has
happens.
the best matchup on paper, quote unquote. I myself
Right.
picked up Shilovs for my matchup, but that has some intricacies and context. I wasn't too thrilled about it.
Wait, elaborate. What do you mean on the intricacies of that one?
Well, I desperately need one goalie start between the end of the week and Pittsburgh has the back-to-back Saturday, Sunday. So I picked up Shilov because I think he starts today. And then if he doesn't start today, I needed the chance that he starts tomorrow as well. So
Because I
I just
highly
need it.
doubt they start Skinner.
in both,
Both.
yeah. And he just got wrecked last game too. So I feel like Shilov starts today, but like you never know with these goalies end of season. Like guys are playing back-to-backs, and I don't want to get screwed, you know.
Love it.
And then a couple questions in the chat here. So any news on Cutter or Hagel? I mean, Cutter was expected back this weekend. I didn't catch what Hagel's injury was.
They put him as day-to-day, and they kept it very vague.
Yeah.
They said doubtful for Thursday, and this was like on a Wednesday they called it. So honestly, I'm leaning that like there's a 30% chance Hagel plays today, but I'm not expecting it. Like I definitely want to have a backup option ready.
Yeah.
Cutter's
Yeah.
his injury seems more scary. Like he might miss more.
There we go. So it sounds like Cutter's out today. And then Seth Jones or Dobson for today and tomorrow.
Points.
Think of one.
Jones.
I know, yeah, depending on what you need. I'm kind of leaning Dobson, man.
I think I want Jones. Mainly just because Dobson's just, I don't know.
I mean, we've
it's not the same
seen
role.
what happens to Seth Jones, like if he's completely demotivated, like he was in Chicago. Yeah, and I just feel like Montreal's gonna beat up on the Devils.
I think it's going to be honestly a closer game, but to me, it's just like if I need to stream, you know, the best chance at somebody getting a goal or assist, to me, it's no brainer. It's Seth Jones. Maybe famous last words, but but I think Dobson for back cats like blocks or whatever. I think for sure. Dobson.
Like this desperation drop here. Drop Sanderson for Luke Hughes. I mean, Luke Hughes is getting. It does seem like Hughes is getting power play 1 right now, which is part of why I dropped Hamilton personally.
I'm keeping Sanderson for the back-to-back on the Saturday, Sunday. Unless you have the chance, like I mean, if he's asking this question right now, it's probably because he has like same day adds or drops, and
He's a game time decision, right?
Yeah, so I'm waiting on Sanderson. If Sanderson's ruled out, I'm making a swap to whoever else. But
Sure.
I want Sanderson if he's healthy.
Then back
They
to
need the
Discord.
win too, right? And I think it's that statement you made, Alan, before. It's like, are you like, we know you're not healthy, but are you injured? Are you hurt?
Yeah, so are you
injured? Yeah.
hurt or are you injured? Yeah, and then Kara here. So we got Swayman, Gus, Dobis need to sit 1. I don't think they've announced any of the goalies for those teams yet. Trying to keep lead on goalie stats. Man, yeah, because that's Tampa Boston could be interesting.
To me, Dobesh is the one you're starting for sure, and you're deciding
Yeah.
if you want to sit Swayman or if you want to sit Gus.
But I like the idea of Gus against a defensively depleted Ottawa, though.
The thing with Ottawa, though, is that they're a team that can concede a lot of goals but score a lot of goals. So it could be like, and Minnesota has
5-4,
not
6-5.
been good. Yeah, exactly. And Minnesota has not been good recently either. So I'm a little worried for like the quality there. And Boston, it kind of just feels like, I mean, Tampa's arguably the best team that we're talking about on this lineup. But Boston has some good games in them, though. Like it feels like they either have a great game or a terrible game. So
Right.
It's tight.
Yeah, man. I mean, Swayman's been really good in his
Mhm.
last. Oh my god, how many starts is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like 7 starts. Like 6 of them are quality.
Mhm.
Maybe he's benching Gus.
Swayman's got the longer tapestry, right? Like body of work that we can actually see.
Mm.
I think Swayman is the guy you roll in for. Dobus is the hot hand right now, right? Out of the two remaining, I think Dobus is more of the, like, he's had the topsy-turvy ups and downs, but now is consolidating himself as like the number one dude. I think you ride the tapestry and then you ride the hot hand, and then Gus sits on the bench and watches both.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's Swayman might just be, I don't want to call it like a sure thing, but just definitely a stud.
It feels
And
pretty
also-
50-50. I think I convinced myself in my head just to go Gus, just because how Ottawa is just choke artists, and they somehow always find a way to mess it up. And I feel like this is just one of those situations that they're gonna mess it up again. Like, this was a team that we all thought was gonna make the playoffs at a certain point,
Right.
and then they just keep losing games and can't get it done. And there's drama with their leadership too, and everything like that. So I'm just like, it feels like a little messy of a situation right now.
Yeah.
I think I
Also,
convinced myself it's a
Wallstead-
Gus.
Also, Wallstead's projected to start. No, like
I mean, I think Wallstead it's possible. They don't have it confirmed yet, but it's a back to back.
Yeah.
So if Wallstead starts, an easy decision, you start Swayman. If Wallstead starts tomorrow, then you have the option to play Gus today.
Yeah. And then there we go. If Sorokin plays, bench him, Saros, or Vazzy.
how the hell do you have all three of them, D-Stu? My goodness. Anyways,
I mean, you might have been able to get Saros like super late in the draft this season with
He was dropped some places.
yeah.
true.
I think there was another question where someone had like Saros was in their like streamers. Who did the Isles play today? I forget.
I think you got to bench Sorokin.
Yeah,
They play
especially
Carolina. It's
Oh,
been a
yeah.
mess recently.
Yeah, I'm benching
Lucio's
Sorokin
got
for
a-
sure.
Lucio's got a pretty spicy question too. That's pretty funny.
Oh.
Saros and Veg on the wire. I love it.
Well,
Shady.
Veg isn't a sure thing. Like Utah likes to keep their starter a mystery until
If
the last
Veg is
second.
starting, I think he's an amazing start today. So if you're listening, I didn't even realize Veg was on the wire. If I'm being real.
Oh,
Well, if
yeah, it's on
Saros
the,
is starting,
it's on the second.
I
bench.
would put him in the same boat. Like Saros is definitely the guy too, where I'm like, I just trust the man.
But you would start Staros over Veg, and Veg plays Vancouver. So I mean, listen,
I
they
would
can
not
do what they
start
did to
Staros over
Colorado,
Veg.
but
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. What are we
that's
looking at time wise? Because we got 7 p.m. versus Vancouver. Saros plays 10.
But Veg also doesn't seem like, again, I don't know.
So you have
It
time.
really-
If
really
Veg doesn't
depends on who
play,
ends
you
up
could
starting.
still grab Saros or
Utah only has 2
who's
games
that?
this week. I'm like very confident that Veg gets the game today,
would get the game, yeah.
and I think that he's probably one of, like, on that list. It's like, to me, I think the best matchups are Calgary and Vancouver, and Veg is playing Vancouver, and that's like the best matchup. So you're not only getting the matchup, you're getting the quality, and Utah's a good team too. So
Yeah. So knowing hockey, what do you call it? Logic. Vancouver for a 6-3 win.
we're gonna get a Lincoln and shutout tonight. You heard it here first.
oh god.
Oh,
Well,
okay. So Wallstead just got confirmed for today.
there we go. So we're definitely
So-
benching Gus, and that's an easy decision.
Yeah, you start Swayman.
All right. Then was there anything in the chat? Oh, there we go. He traded for Vazzy.
Traded for fast.
That was probably an easy trade to make when back when I know Tampa was slumping hard recently.
Mm.
And then what else?
Yeah, Vasi.
We'll go waivers. Goalie cats are wins, saves, goals against here from curl fluffle. He's willing to punt goals against, but wins is priority. Who do we like between Lyon, Husso, Grubauer, DeCord versus the Blackhawks?
I'm going Husso again.
Yeah, I would say yeah.
Anaheim's
Buffalo's
a good
been
team.
stumbling a little bit, but I
Kevin,
still I like the matchup more.
Kevin, you
Sure,
really
so.
like the matchups. I do respect the
got
the
it.
commitment for it.
You got to play the matchups. I think especially as like a factor to consider when you're streaming, you got to consider how good the goalie is and how good the teams are and who they're playing. I think.
I'm definitely all about the not narrative, so to speak, but just like I guess like the overall swing of how the team is progressing. Like I think like Lion, for example, right now, that team would be playing that team is playing for something, right? So
Mhm.
that's the one that I was considering. Like, hey, like the Caps, they're pushing for a playoff spot, but I wouldn't say they're one of the teams I would think would be likely to get in as the last one
No.
that Ottawa's sitting in right now. I
But
would
I-
just say Buffalo.
At least I just do think you have to be careful, right? Because there's always the narratives that we paint, like the Islanders, Columbus, Ottawa. These are all teams that are on the playoff bubble to have like so much to play for, right? There's no more desperate teams than those teams. And Columbus is on a 5-game losing streak right now. Ottawa's losing games. Islanders are losing games. They're getting blown out. So it feels like we want to follow the narrative, because I agree with you. The narrative is important, but some of these teams don't care about narrative. Like they just don't have it in them to get it done. So it's
Yeah.
tough.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I think I would safely say Grubauer and DeCord versus the Blackhawks is not the start that I would be going for. Like I could see them obviously getting the win against Chicago. I
Mhm.
think it would, for me, Husso and Lyon is not as crystal clear. Husso or Lyon is not as crystal clear for me.
Gotcha. So we got Adam here in the chat. Ryan O'Reilly, Tom Wilson, Connor Brown, Granlund, Laugh. I don't know if that's Rangers or Kings. That really doesn't help us. Mantha start 2 points league. Mantha's a lock for me.
Mantha's a lock, man. Yeah. He's got. Oh my goodness.
Who would the other? So Nashville plays the Sharks. Granlund really hasn't done much this week, thankfully.
I mean, I personally have streamed Connor Brown just because he's playing on a line with Jesper Bratt and Jack Hughes, and he's also on the power play 1. They do have a tougher matchup with Montreal today, but I think the deployment doesn't get much better than that.
Yeah.
And he's been pretty decent. I do think Mantha, even though Mantha, I am a little bit worried just because the minutes have ticked down after they've gotten healthy. Like he's bumped off power play 1, and he wasn't. He didn't play the most minutes last game. I think he only played like 13 minutes. So but he's the hottest guy here. In terms of his production, I'm sure he's a very attractive man as well. But yeah. I think
Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is Alexi, like the Rangers.
Rangers.
Yeah, Rangers.
A
Well,
laugh.
I was also checking. I'm like, of all the names, I was like reading it through it again, but I'm like, is Tom Wilson still in a? Am I going to start guy or not? Like, I put Tom Wilson. As like,
It depends on what the riffs are worth.
yeah, because I mean, I'm so skewed toward all our super banger style leagues, Alan. But I'm like, Tom Wilson is like a goat, like the man's never.
And I
washed.
mean that's the line that's doing the heavy lifting. I think in Washington, like Ovi, yes, he has scored goals lately. Right after I reverse jinxed him, but yeah, I think I like the upside of Connor Brown
Over the stable floor of Tom Wilson.
I don't think the bangers are worth much here because he didn't really mention them. So if we're just focusing on points, I feel like the odds are in the favor of Connor Brown, even though it's crazy that we're having this conversation, Tom Wilson versus Connor Brown in all the championship weeks, right? It's nuts what fantasy ends up happening at the end of the season. If it's me, I think I go Brown, but I'm not against anybody else going a different direction.
Back to Pokemon's question. I forget what goalies we were hovering on for the Sunday starts. I know I liked Fowler.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Wallstead just got confirmed, yeah?
Yep.
For today.
I think
against
the Wallstead
Ottawa.
Start, I think the Wallstead start would be right up the alley. Like that team needs to win as well, right? Like they're actually not that close. to passing Dallas.
No, Minnesota's got nothing to play for because they're basically stuck in third place. Like
Yes.
nobody's passing them, and they're not passing anybody. So, either way, I think my favorite starts on this list, looking at it right now, is probably Fowler, who's going to get the Sunday game versus New Jersey, or Wedgwood. I think also, like,
because it's Colorado.
yeah, it's Colorado, and they play Dallas today. I do not want to start him against Dallas, but if he ends up playing on the Sunday, then I like that matchup a lot more. But you're not going to know that,
Right.
I
I mean,
just
Wedgwood's
realized the
been the better
Wallstead one.
goalie, so it wouldn't surprise me if they stick Wedgwood against him against Dallas.
I also
today.
just realized he was checking for the Sunday one, which means Wallstead is not a useful one. 'cause
Oh,
he's-
if it's for Sunday,
yeah, because it seems like Wallstead is starting today, right? So then, yeah,
I think Fowler's your best option.
yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
Fowler or Bussy. Bussy plays the Islanders on Sunday, and I think the Hurricanes are probably the heaviest favorites on Sunday to win their game. So
Here we go. We'll get this chat one, and then I see one in the Banger Management Discord. So for tomorrow, Lindholm, Nichushkin, Martone, Forrester, Dylan Strome, Devon Tays, or Broberg.
How many?
I think just one.
probably one. I think these guys are available on waivers, and he's trying to make a pickup.
Yeah. And that's where my wife saved me from myself. Like I was looking at either Forrester or Martone for last night / Sunday. Neither of them did anything last night. So
Mhm.
Now you have an additional ad still.
I know. Yeah.
I think I'm leaning Forrester for Sunday.
Yeah.
Just because he's got the line one power play, one deployment.
What's
Not
their
super
matchup?
interested in Nichushkin.
They played the Bruins, though, who also played yesterday or
Mhm.
will play today.
I think you got
Yeah.
Forrester.
I like Forrester. I mean, I don't know. It's, again, having been burned by picking up Malinsky this
Mhm.
week, where it's power play one, and then now it's Tays. Like,
I mean, you still got 3 points out of him.
Switch back. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not upset at all.
Mhm.
Yeah. I like Forrester. Even, well, yeah, because they would play Corpusalo tomorrow. Yeah, Corpusalo's been not great. So yeah, I like Forrester. What was your vote,
don't know.
Jay?
I was gonna say like, we know this is championship week when this is the one. These are the lists of
Mhm.
guys, and it's like I want to choose one of them. Oh my goodness, I don't have a vote to cast in the sense that I don't have a strong guy that I really want to choose of all these guys. Like, if anything, I would say just which guys got our back to back. Because I know, for example, Broberg's only got a game.
Right.
But I guess it doesn't matter because I guess he can't fit no guys in. He's saying just
No.
for tomorrow, right?
Just for tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought Bussy was confirmed.
Yeah, okay,
today.
perfect.
I'll stick with the jury. Yeah, let's go with Forrest.
So Forrester. All right. So Jordary need a shutout to keep us. Oh my god. Oh god. He has Saros. Should he grab Dobis, Greaves, Allmark, Shelovs, or Huso or Grubauer?
If I could predict
It's-
shutouts, I'd be a very successful man.
Right.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think the other one that sucks is like there is a shutout amongst these what 6 names here. It's just you just gotta choose one. Oh my goodness.
Well, Jets just
Likely.
got shut out, so I don't think Greaves will get out unscathed.
Right.
I don't like hearing that. I'm starting Greaves today.
I'm benching Hellebuck, assuming my other two start. Yeah, I really like Dobis and again Huso, but I don't know if they get shutouts.
I don't think
he's
anybody here
fine
gets a
with-
shutout if I'm being real.
Yeah, agreed.
He's fine with if Saros, like if none of them get a shutout and Saros does, he's still fine, right? He's just trying to get extra, I guess, like almost
No.
double back.
I think he has Saros and he's wondering if he should change Saros for somebody else to try to get a shutout. Like who out of here is getting the shutout because that's what he needs to win, pretty much. There might be no right answer. Like there just
Yeah.
might
Right.
be no right answer. But
What are the
Yeah,
matchups
because
again?
I don't
Let's
see
play those matchups.
Allmark. Tampa's going to score at least one. Like I find it very unlikely that Ullmark or not. I'm thinking Bruins, not Bruins. Yeah, the Wild are definitely going to score. I
don't think Ullmark's getting a shutout. I don't think Sheloves is getting a shutout.
No.
I don't think Grubauer is getting a shutout.
Wait, hold on. Well, let's double back a bit. I think Sheloves could absolutely get a shutout. Like, have you seen that?
I stream Sheloves, so listen, I'm hoping for that. But Florida still scores goals.
Right. They have one functional line that isn't an AHL line, and that's going to be the line that scores on them.
Their one functional line still has Sanaskevich there. Oh no, not Sanaskevich.
No.
Who's the other guy that's there?
No, they got. I think it's like Bennett, Matthew Tkachuk, and Verhaeghe. I think is their one line.
Frick. I think they will score at least one. Shoot, I kind of think Kevin's right. I kind of think there's no. It could be the time where nobody's fishing and nobody gets a catch.
The most likely though, maybe Greaves or Husso.
I think it's Greaves, the most likely. Now listen, if somebody gets a shutout on this list, I'm gonna be kicking myself after the stream. But I think the most likely is probably Greaves. But listen, I'm not confident in that. Or Dobesh. Honestly, like New Jersey's been high flying, but Montreal's a good team. Like they could easily have a game where they just clamp down defensively.
And then okay, we'll try to bang through these, like this last question here and then the one in the chat and call it. So Matt Temps, I don't know, has a D slot open, 2 pickups left. Wait for tomorrow or pick up Taze or Spence today. Not sure. He's not sure if Sanderson's come back. So we're, I guess, trying to replace Sanderson.
Just keep your phone on you and check the Twitter until they confirm if Sanderson's out or not. And then
I think it's more because he doesn't want to pick up Spence if Sanderson is coming back. To me, I think if you have 2 ads left, I'm using one on Taves today. You get the Taves on the Saturday, Sunday, and then you keep your last ad for your Sunday and see what happens there. I do think Sanderson comes back to play today. But I think Taves is still a good option.
Yeah, I think Sanderson he's hurt, but he's not injured. They need him. They need him for the points.
And then favorite goalie stream for tomorrow.
For tomorrow.
I know, right? I think we said, depending on which Montreal goalie starts today, the other one.
I think for tomorrow, I do like the Pittsburgh goalie. So if Sheloves gets today, then it's probably Skinner tomorrow. If Skinner gets today, then it's probably Sheloves tomorrow. So I do like whoever ends up starting that game. I mean, if Fowler's available, I think he's probably my favorite stream. If he ends up playing the Sunday.
Yeah, there we go. And then I think we answered this one. Devon Taze or Seth Jones for today and tomorrow. I think the majority was Jones. But man, that's going to do it. But before we go, Kevin, if you want to let everyone know who may not be as familiar with you, where they can find you and the rest of the Banger Management guys.
On every podcast platform, we're Banger Management Fantasy Hockey. We mainly cover category leagues, Banger category leagues. So if you're playing those, I think we have some resources for you. And really appreciate you guys having me on. This is always really fun. So hopefully we do more of this in the future. I'd love that.
Gotcha. Oh, and then okay, so there we go. Oh, so we said Dobson versus Jones earlier. Taser Jones.
I think it's
go
Jones.
Taze.
I think it's still Jones.
Okay. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Yeah, well, good luck everyone today, and hopefully we hear nothing but about how you all just smoked everyone.
And hopefully you guys all get shutouts.
There we go. From Jack Greaves.
Yes. I can pray.
We'll pick you up later.